Alright, so people have been asking me, like, how does that mustache work? Like, where does it come from? Like, how do you do that? And, so this, I haven't done anything with it just yet. This is, I woke up hours ago and had some coffee and been sitting around doing nothing. And so the first thing you do is you never shave or trim your mustache for like, I don't know, 8 or 12 months. Another thing, tip, if a barber says like, hey, I'm gonna trim your mustache and here's a thing you haven't tried, say no. I went to a guy who, this centerpiece, he's like, oh, some people shave this part here and, keep that real short. All right, give it a shot. And I'm still waiting for those hairs to fucking connect with these ones, because before he did that, they were all the same length, or not the same length, but they all ended at the same spot for the most part. Some of them will like fall out midway through, but years later, I'm still fighting that bad decision and that bad barber, and that place was kind of weird and stuffy and a lot of like bootlickers and fucking cops and shit. Like, I don't hate cops, I don't hate military, but like those guys were really intense and it was very like borderline fascist and uncomfortable. And I would speak like I normally do with people and talk about the things that I normally talk about, and I would come out of it afterwards be like, I shouldn't have said anything to those fucking guys. And so I stopped going. And I should have stopped before I let him fuck up my mustache. But so I got this wax. I need to order it soon. This is the best wax that I've found. I found it on Etsy. They have their own website. It's apothecary'sgarden.shop. And it's the best. And it smells good. It's got, what's that stuff? Frankincense in it. No myrrh and no gold, but just frankincense and some other stuff. It's good. But I heat it up with hot water. So that's what that noise is. Maybe, nope. Alright, so that water's hot as fuck. Heat up the 10. You get this comb. Get a squeeze on there. And I usually slam it into the front bit of the comb. We get a little bit of extra. So I got the waxy comb. See, it's all waxy in there. I got a bunch of wax on my thumb and heat it back up. And it seems to really only work the curl if I use the opposite hand. So I use my right hand for my left curl, and my left hand for the right. And also keep this part out of my mouth. That's what the waxy bit is for. Just comb it right in there. And I don't really like, I'm more of a fan of the Friedrich Nietzsche mustache as opposed to Salvador Dali. But somewhere in the midpoint of like just utter fucking bird's nest on my face and big curly Monopoly man or whatever, so. I got the wax. We'll pea-sized amount. Sometimes it takes more. Looks like I must have waxed my mustache yesterday, because it seemed to be pretty well formed. Sometimes if I go a few days without, it takes a lot more to get it going. But sometimes you need, it does help to like wet the hair while you put it on there. It lets it go evenly and not get all stuck in the same spot like as soon as you shove it on. And sometimes you need a hair dryer to, if you put too much on, it needs to melt the rest of the way. But yeah, that's how I have and grow a mustache. And I usually tie my hair back while I do it, because while I'm grabbing it, this will get into it. But not really much for tying my hair back, because a lot of times it gives me a headache. But yeah, so don't forget to, eat food and breakfast and shower and stuff. Tell your friends you love them.